That was the legend himself, Michael Vick. And, Mike, we've had you on the show before. I'm so happy to talk to you as a four-time Pro Bowl quarterback. But that highlight in the Metrodome, I got to say, as a native daughter of Minnesota, not one of my favorites. Not one of my favorites. What? Did you know in advance on that rush play you're going to run out the hallway? You're like, no, I'm out. That was it. $173 on the ground, and I'm just going to say peace.
You know what? It was kind of disrespectful that I didn't shake hands with my guys after that game. I ran. It's always somebody's dream to have that walk-off touchdown run where you just can run into the locker room, game over. That was my signature 2002 play. That was the play of the season for me. I'll tell you that.
That's really cool for you to put it into context like that, and it's an incredible one, and I don't hate it at all. We got to ask you though, Mike, first of all, it's great to see you. We hope you're doing well. You played during a time where the Patriots were an absolute staple in the postseason under Bill Belichick, of course, and with Tom Brady at the quarterback position. Now they return to the Super Bowl. How do you feel about seeing this brand have a resurgence once again, but this time under Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, I think it's great, especially under Mike Vrabel. Everything that he's been able to do within a short time span. And, for him to be able to, captivate that team, build that defense, get Drake made a play at a high level. You're looking at one of the top coaches in the game right now. That's not an easy thing to do. It's really not an easy feat. And so, all across the board, this is a great overall team. And, they did everything week after week to put themselves in this position.
Mike, it's so good to see you, brother. The last time I saw you, I was actually playing against you, and it was an honor of mine to actually grace the field with you. You was actually a Pittsburgh Steeler at that time, and when you played us, the San Diego Chargers. Oh, there it is, bro. That's the closest I got to him. That's the closest I got to him right now.
That looks so weird.
What a legend, what a legend. But I got to ask you, bro, let's talk about Sam Darnold a little bit. It's well documented, his journey, with all the teams that he's been with. He will lead the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 60 as a measure of perseverance. What would it mean for Darnold, the quarterback, to come in and hoist up a Lombardi trophy?
Well, it's going to mean everything to him. And, I think that the fact that he's had to go through so much, and, Sam Darnold is the epitome of don't give up on quarterbacks too soon. These first-round picks, these guys who, you have them for 3 years, and then all of a sudden, you force them into exile, and then you never hear from them again. Sam just kept at it. I think, the coolest thing for Sam was going into San Francisco. I think once he went to San Francisco, was there for a year with Shanahan. I think he learned a lot, was able to go to Minnesota and put everything on display. And then, this year finding a home in Seattle where he had a defense, had players around him, JSN and those guys, they only gonna make you better. So, this is a guy on a mission, and I expect them to win the game, and that's going to be a storybook ending for him.
Mike, first off, even saying Mike as somebody who grew up and you were like my idol, I feel like I should be saying Mr. Vick. I don't even know. I feel like a little kid. Can I say Mike? It's just Mr. Mike, whatever.
I appreciate the respect.
No, I could take this entire time that I have to just talk about how iconic you were in Atlanta when I was growing up. I'm 30 years old, so we're talking about your era in Atlanta was like that's like my sports era. It's like Kobe, Michael Vick, like all the greats. So just thank you for everything that you've done. You're also a football expert still. You coach, you do it all. Looking at the Falcons, we got a new coach, Kevin Stefanski, who I played for. I love him. We got Michael Penix Jr. Just as a guy who knows good quarterback play, can you just talk about that connection, what that's going to mean for the Falcons and what they could be next year?
Yeah, I think it's really good for Michael Penix to get somebody like Kevin Stefanski, an offensive mind, somebody who's going to pour into him, teach him how to play the quarterback position on a daily basis. And, Michael has all the tools to be successful. And with that guy right there, Bijan, and then the receivers that he has, Drake London. And I think Kyle Pitts is still there. He should be. I mean, it's enough weapons on the offensive side of the ball to get some production. Just got to build on the offensive line like anywhere else. And I think once they do that, you got a team that's going to be very competitive. And, ultimately defenses win championships or win games, rather. But the offense is going to be a lot better than it was in the last couple of years. And they still got Kirk Cousins too, so you know they got a safety blanket within him, and I think this team will definitely make a run at it in the next couple of years.
And the South is ripe for the taking within the NFC, so they should do
Wide
that.
open.
Exactly. So I want to pull up the picture again because you brought it up, how crazy it is to see you wearing the number 2 in the Steelers jersey with Manti chasing you down. You got rid of the ball, obviously, in time. But this is the last time you played, which is under Mike Tomlin for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're ping-ponging all around the league right now, but it's because you're such an expert. And I'm sure you maybe have a different take on Tomlin now that you are yourself a head coach. What did you feel when you heard Mike Tomlin was stepping away from the Pittsburgh Steelers?
There's always saddening when a guy like Coach Tomlin, you know, after such a long tenure, you know, has to, you know, step away from something that I know he loves tremendously, but instantly in that same breath, I was like, look, man, Coach Tomlin will land somewhere tomorrow if he wanted to. You know, I think every player who's come through that Pittsburgh Steelers organization, who's played for Mike, got a lot of respect for him, a ton of appreciation. I know when I played for him, I soaked in everything that he said every day, appreciated every team meeting and every coaching point that he ever gave me. And not just for me, I can say that for a lot of guys who played for him. And so I did send him a text and tell him, like, you know, congratulations on the great run, you know, and take some time to think about, you know, what the next move is going to be. And maybe this is an opportunity for him to step away from it and then come back to it at some point because he's fairly young. And one thing about Mike T, he's going to bring that defense, he's going to bring that energy, and you're going to get a hell of a coach. So I think it's on his terms now.
Well, something that's also on your terms, Mike, is you are too a head coach. You see your hoodie, you know, for Norfolk State University. And BET has documented your journey in your new docuseries called The Coach Vick Experience. We have a preview clip. Let's take a look. Foremost, we saw Coach Mike McCarthy in his opening presser when he was named the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach and how emotional he got. How did that feel for you? And then what can we expect from this series?
It was great to return back home, man. It was also great to be able to stand in front of them young men every day and try to teach them invaluable lessons on life and football with, you know, things that they go through off the field being the most important. Us growing together, us being able to create this amazing docuseries together, ups and downs. A lot of coaches that poured into these young men like myself and others. And, you know, it was just a great experience. And to be back home, you know, to learn what it takes to be a coach, to learn what it takes to win games, to learn what it takes to get through the losses, the emotional roller coaster. I know a lot of my coaches who are watching me now, coaches that I played for, some that's not here anymore, to be turning over in their grave if they knew what I was doing. And I got so much respect for what the things that they said, the courage that they had to stand before us and teach us and ask us to do things that we didn't think we could do. I find myself doing the same thing now with our young men. And it's such an amazing experience. I love it. I can't wait to get to the 2026 season. Can't come quick enough. And you know, this year going to be full of wins. And I'm expecting great things, I tell you that. So the series is airing on February 4th on BET. It's amazing, man. It was fun to do it. The kids had fun. And, you know, we looking forward to turning it up on 2026, like I said.
Yeah. Well, Coach Vick, I'll call you Coach Vick, by the way. That's what I'm deciding. I'm not going to go Mr. Vick. Coach Vick.
You're freaking out, Isaac.
No, I don't think you understand.
That is funny.
It's unreal, but it's cool for me to be here in this position, interviewing you. Like, this is cool. I texted my whole family. Like, you're in every group chat that I'm in. But now I look like a loser because I'm just so excited. But either way. You went from, you're going from coaching these young adults, and I know you're such a leader with them. You're teaching them these invaluable lessons that you mentioned. Now coaching the Pro Bowl alongside the greats. Can you just talk about that? Talk about your favorite Pro Bowl experience and just everything you're thinking about going into this week.
Yeah, no, it's just been an amazing week, man. Just from I have an opportunity to go out to the Pro Bowl and interact with those guys. I know what it's like to be there. Steve Young, who was my childhood idol, great friend of mine, one of the best quarterbacks to play the game. I just look forward to going out there, having a good time, and calling some plays, see if I can get the boys into the end zone. They're going to do it themselves. But, hey, man, just throw my little expertise in there and just enjoy the week. It's going to be amazing time. And, just thankful I still get an opportunity to do things like this and still get invited to some of these amazing moments.
Well, Isaac's going to be there too, Mike, but we'll make sure he's 50 yards away from you if you give us the high sign, okay?
Yeah, Mike's going to have a restraining order. Get this dude away from me. Yeah, I'll
Call me sir.
Coach, Michael Vick, actually, we're all going to be out there, so we can't wait to catch up with you. We love this for the Norfolk State program. We're so happy for those guys, and we love to see you. There you go.
I look forward to it.
See you later. See you later,
Thanks,
Coach
Mike.
Vick.